So, in answer to the first question, what do you think are the three most important qualities in a teacher? I think the three most important qualities are firmness, openness, and patience, and obviously subject knowledge as well. But so, in terms of firmness, I think that that's something I've developed a lot recently through my work in schools. Previously, as a tutor, I was a lot more lax with my students, but I kind of realized it's really important that a tutor like has the ability to really keep a lesson on track so that the student's getting all the value out of that lesson, and also so that they feel kind of uh, kept on track themselves, and they don't have to take any responsibility for like making the lesson kind of go according to your plan. Patience, I think, is super important for tutors because obviously each student learns at their own pace. People learn in different ways, and you have to have the patience to stick on a particular subject a lot longer than you might with other students, depending on the student, to kind of make sure that everyone can understand everything, even if they find that subject or that area particularly difficult. Openness, I think, is really important because everyone learns differently. So you have to be able to adapt lessons and adapt your plans to fit each student. There might be like a particular subject that a student can't understand in a particular way, so you have to come up with a new way of explaining it, maybe in the lesson or maybe through planning. Um, my personal best experience teaching was I had a particular student who was in year five. He was really struggling with English, even though his maths was really good. So his mum hired me to be an English teacher, an English tutor, and I would do his English homework with him mostly. But then there was also I started adding on like a creative writing sort of section at the end of each tutorial. So we would spend 15 minutes doing some creative writing, and he would write about these toys that he had because that was what he found. He was like comfortable writing about these kind of characters for these toys that he had that he would play with. And he would build these stories and come up with a sort of language and a way of expressing himself that he didn't really have before because it turned out that he was very afraid of getting it wrong, which is why he liked maths because there was a lot less ambiguity in maths than English. But after doing the creative writing stuff for about 4 or 5 months, I got a call from his mum that he'd actually shot up to the top of the class in English in all areas just because he'd kind of, I think, been able to let go of that fear a bit. So that was a really nice experience for me. And then in terms of something about the subject that I find fascinating, I just think it's fascinating, kind of along those lines that English is like how we think. So if you can develop your English ability, especially at those like crucial young ages, you can kind of change your capacity for thought, change your capacity to think about yourself and think about other people and think about the world, um, and just improve your communication skills. I got into teaching because I kind of always enjoyed explaining things and working out how things worked. And my friends and my brother, I'd kind of interact with them in this sort of explaining way, and they'd say like, "Why don't you try tutoring?" When I was a teenager, so I started doing it to make a bit of money on the side. I would like tutor for neighbors' kids and stuff, and then I've since just kind of done it on and off since then. And Yeah, so I have a lot of experience now, um, and I just find it really rewarding working with students and seeing them like develop emotionally and intellectually. In terms of other work I do, I'm a theatre maker, so I do acting and writing and directing for theatre and some screen as well. So this it's really useful for me to work with a tutoring agency because of the hours and the flexibility. I also do holiday camps, like kids' holiday camps during the holidays, and I was working as a SEN teaching assistant up until recently.